we are the Political Sophies. Welcome to our new vlog entitled The Ethical Eye, a utilitarian approach on the ethical issues of modernization.
But first, allow us to introduce ourselves. We are a small group of communication students who are currently undertaking a course on philosophy and ethics at the University of the Philippines, Cebu. I'm Audrey-Lene Bacalia, a researcher for this channel.
Hi, my name is Kimberly Esion, and I'm the video editor/researcher for this channel.
Hi everyone, I'm Angel May Villarino and I'm also one of the researchers for this channel.
I'm glad you could join us. I'm Audrey May Gomez, a writer for this channel.
I'm Joseph Vincent Humalas, and I'm also one of the writers. So for today's video, we're going to tackle a serious ethical issue that has sparked a lot of controversies among labor groups and student organizations in Cebu.
The ethical issue that we will discuss today is about the carbon market modernization project. As per usual, we need to have an idea or background knowledge of our issue if we want to establish our position about the problem.
According to Abadilla, the Carbon Market Modernization Project is a long-running program implemented by the Cebu City government and backed by the Megawide Construction Corporation. At the very least, costing an estimated amount of 5.5 billion pesos, it involves the modernization of the oldest and largest farmers market in the city. The project aims to create a commercial, heritage, and cultural district with a multimodal and integrated transport hub.
Balinbin also reported that the project will be instrumental in accomplishing much-needed improvements in terms of drainage, sidewalks, and road clearings, in addition to the provision of a newer, more clean, secure, and convenient facilities for the Cebuano public. With this, they hope to address the problems often encountered by the public and entice them to visit the district more often.
Litigious stated in the news report that temporary facilities have been provided for areas being redeveloped. The project had been officially launched last March 2021 after encountering several delays due to vendor objections. While the vendors were thankful for the initiative to modernize the district, they also expressed their concerns and doubts over the rising rent. Negotiations and open communication between the parties involved are still continuously running.
Given this, our ethical issue can be expressed in the question form as follows. Is it right for the local government officials of Cebu to push for the modernization project of the carbon market amidst the pandemic when several vendors are at risk of eviction and loss of livelihood?
The ethical theory we utilize to address this question is utilitarianism, enhanced by John Stuart Mill.
According to this theory, actions are right in proportion as they tend to promote happiness, wrong in proportion as they tend to produce the reverse of happiness. By happiness is meant pleasure and the absence of pain. By unhappiness is meant pain and the lack of pleasure.
The concept of utilitarianism tells us to think of what is beneficially best for the majority. However, the pursuit of utility should not be merely rigid to the benefits it provides. It should likewise emancipate them from pain and help them gain pleasure. Thus, the application of utility should be directly proportional to pleasure and not the absence of it.
However, the pleasure that is sought in utilitarianism is not something that is fleeting nor superficial. The pleasure should be first and foremost be derived from its core concept, which is to choose what is beneficially the best for everyone.
Moving on, our position based on our chosen ethical theory is that we are against the carbon market modernization project. Our primary argument is that the project does not present concrete benefits that will ensure that it will be beneficial for the majority. We will provide 3 reasons to support our oppositional stance on this issue.
First, when we look back at CIRS's news report early last year, we can see the disruption that this project has caused to the livelihood of vendors and lives of the residents of Barangay Ermita. With the approval of the joint venture approval between the Cebu City government and the Megawide Construction Corporation, the Cebu City councilors who voted for the modernization of the carbon public market did not know that Units 1, 2, and 3 of the existing carbon public market would be demolished and replaced with commercial hubs of Megawide Construction Corporation.
This meant that the vendors that were formerly in Carbon's 3 units were transferred to the new and relocated Carbon Market erected at the Freedom Park and Warwick Barracks. Furthermore, it was stated in the Joint Venture Agreement or JVA that the families of Sitio Bato in Barangay Ermita, a total of 700 families, are affected. However, it was unclear as to where the families will be relocated. This was due to the Cebu City Councilor's negligence of duty as they did not read the 75-page worth of documents where the list of adverse and other vital information are provided. Thus, this leads to the voting in favor of the modernization project.
Second, according to Ovejas, 2 councilors from the Cebu City and Sangguniang Panglungsod have assured the carbon market will be modernized without losing its basic attraction of low prices. However, Minority Floor Leader Nestor Equival argued that under the joint venture agreement, rentals may be raised periodically, with the private partners given the right to reduce or withhold the city's share of income if the city council fails to adjust the rates. With this, the carbon vendors' livelihoods are doubly affected.
Ana Maria Ariosa, fish vendor, chairperson, and spokesperson of the Karbuhanong Alyansa sa Reforma ug Bahandianong Ugma sa mga Nanginabuhi, an alliance of 13 carbon vendor associations who are against the project, expressed her concerns. She made it known that there are those who have only 300 to 500 pesos as capital, those who sell spices for 5 pesos a pack, and those with a substantially lower level of educational attainment, making it more difficult for them to sustain the rent, electricity fees, and other basic needs. Considering that the carbon market was made to serve the poor and the middle-class families, it should remain affordable for the ordinary vendor and customer.
Lastly, if only a select few are reaping the benefits of this modernization project, then this definitely violates utilitarianism. Letijo stated in a news article that a group of Cebu City residents filed charges for grave misconduct and corruption against several Cebu City officials for the joint venture agreement that the city made with the Megawide Construction Corporation for the renovation of the carbon market. So, the complaints argued that the city officials have committed grave misconduct and possible corruption for pushing through with a contract when allegedly it has not gone through the proper process, and even if it has, it was grossly disadvantageous to the city. There were irregularities in the contract that could have been adequate reasons to find that it was invalid and disadvantageous to the residents of the city. Let's go back to Audrey May Gomez as she gives her insights and conclusions for our group.
To conclude, we stand firm on our position against the modernization of the carbon public market because it is not beneficial for most of the stakeholders in the project. In the process of preparing this blog presentation, we realized that justice is not just an annex to utility, but it is tightly intertwined with it. The pursuit of justice is to protect and support human rights for people, and the antithesis of justice is a threat to the enjoyment of those rights. Thus, the anger we hold for injustices, though it does not directly affect us, stem from the threat it poses to the pleasure of the majority.
Kapag namulat ka sa katotohanan,
kasalanan na ang pumikit.
See you in our next vlog installment of The Ethical Eye here on Philosophical Sophies.
Thank you very much for watching.